Hey everybody. So I wanted to go over how to make that two-way table. It is the hardest thing that we're going to do here. So let's show you guys a few tricks in Excel here. Okay, so first off, I'm starting with a pretty big data set. This data set has almost 350,000 entries. So there's a lot of data here, and you're going to watch me just deal with this, and it's not going to make a big difference because we're going to use some tricks with it. Okay, first thing that you're going to see me do is that I want to do a state and a city two-way table. It's kind of what I can do with the two-way table here for the categorical data. Not all of your projects, not all of the items in your projects are going to work great on everything. This doesn't kind of make sense to have a two-way table because Boston is never not going to be in Massachusetts. I get left with what I get left with, and not everything makes sense in all instances. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to copy these two columns that I'm going to make in my other sheet, and I'm going to go ahead and paste them over here. So I'll just click paste, and boom, there they come. Cool. All right, so if we want to make a two-way table, we want to have a column that has the states and a row that has the cities. We don't want everything that's here, right? We want to count how many are here. So here's what I'm going to do is I am going to copy and paste once again that data. It seems kind of silly, but you'll see here in a minute what I'm trying to do. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all of the duplicates. So I don't want Massachusetts listed 1,000 times, right? I want Massachusetts listed just once. So I'm going to go up here to data, and I'm going to go to remove duplicates. I want to continue with the current selection. I just want to remove the state duplicate names, and it's on column E. That's good. I click OK, and I just get the duplicate states. It looks like there's 42 unique values. It looks like there's an extra stupid thing here, so let's delete that. And yeah, we want to shift the rows up. I'm going to do the same thing on Boston. On the cities, I'm going to remove the duplicates. No, I want to go with the current selection. Yes, just column F. Boom, they're all gone. These do line up a little, although I will say Gary is not in Rhode Island, right? Gary's in Indiana. So there's some extra weirdness going on here, which is good. And look, there's a blank here. Let's get rid of that blank. I don't like blanks. Delete that sucker. Yeah, shift the rows up. So we have, of course, we have more cities than we have states. We knew that, right? Okay, next thing I'm going to do as I wanted the states going vertical here, and I wanted the cities going horizontally. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of the cities. I'm going to select all of these cities, and I'm going to copy this. Copy that selection. And then I tried this a bunch of times, so I promise I didn't do this as quickly the first time. And then I'm going to paste the transpose. It doesn't want to let me do it overlapping, so I'm going to try one more time. I clicked on this G cell here that's empty, and I'll click the transpose. There we go. I got it. Okay, so it posted all those city names, and I'm going to go ahead and delete this because it's in my way. Okay, I did that, and actually I want to delete this one too because it just says city. Okay, fine, and let's rename this to say two-way. All right, awesome. So now what we want to do is we want to count. Ifs, and we want for this row to be equal to this entry. Easy enough, right? And we want this column to be equal to this entry. And I see here that I get 2,800 Boston, Massachusetts. Okay, now I have not done this code exactly right yet. I'm going to come back and I'm going to use some freezing. So first thing is I always want to reference the states. So I'm going to always reference the states, and I always want to reference the cities. I freeze with the $signs. Then, as I drag this down, I want it to still reference Boston, but I want it to reference the different states. So what I do here is I'm going to fix it so that it always references Boston. I'm going to fix that it's always going to reference the first column, and here I'm always going to have it reference the E row. Now that didn't change anything, right? But what's nice is now when I drag it down, I should see that Boston will never magically end up in another state. I should also see that when I drag it this way, that Connecticut only ends up in Hartford. And let's double check. You see it's going to fill in. Cambridge is only in Massachusetts. Allentown is only in Pennsylvania. Fall River is only in Massachusetts. By the way, I believe I can... No, I guess I can't double click. I don't know how far this went out. I only made it to Buffalo, huh? But I can just drag across and get this to fill in. By the way, let's check. We know Buffalo and Albany are in New York. Is that New York? Yes, of course it is. And so I got this to fill in. And again, once you get these dollar signs right, and what the dollar sign does is it freezes it. I'm always referencing E, even when I drag across, and I'm always referencing the first column, the first row of the AB column. So anyway, I need to highlight this because I want this to go all the way across. And your guys' tables probably won't be as big as mine is, but I made mine pretty big. I need to be more aggressive here. Actually, one of the ways I can do this here is scale this down. Hey, that makes it so I can actually see what I'm doing, doesn't it? Alright, and I'm going to scale all the way over. There we go. And it'll compute here. Takes it a minute because, well, my computer's a little slow, and I'm asking it to do a lot. There you go. It did not tell me Tacoma was in Washington, though, did it? All of a sudden, some of these didn't compute, did they? Oh, maybe they're filling in. There, it's going. I'm sorry, I need to be patient here. Like I said, I am dealing with a pretty large data set here. That's why it's just being a little slow. You should see that no city is in 2 states. I mentioned that. So, you know, any city here is only going to be in 1 state. That's a little weirder than some of your two-way tables are going to be. But you can see some of these states have 2 cities in them, right? Washington has Seattle, Spokane, and Tacoma. Alright, so that's how you make the two-way table. Again, the most complicated formula here is this count-ifs formula. You count the state, you count the cities, and you gotta freeze the columns here and the rows here. Alright, keep working hard.